You guys ready for your first comedian of the evening? All right, this first guy coming up is a very good friend of mine. I've been seeing him do it for a while. He's actually getting good. I'm very proud of it. Welcome to the stage, my friend, John Loss.
What's that?
I guess all those Facebook messages I sent to dogs paid off. So welcome to the Chicken N Pickle. We got any pickleball players here?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know anything about pickleball 2 months ago, but I've tried it. I got really into it. Now I'm the commissioner of my own fantasy pickleball league. This is a big night for me. This is really my third anniversary of the time I started stand-up over at Stanford's, which was 2 late patients ago when they were over 119. And still remember the first joke I told. I said, people ask me if I get nervous. I said, no, I've been making groups of people laugh all my life. Unfortunately, they were juries. And off I went. And you guys look great, and in honor of this occasion, I decided to dress up. So I'm rocking these relaxed fit skinny jeans today. They're from the Poles Manatee Collection. It's my own special brand. I also became this week an ordained minister in the Universal Church of Life. Yeah, so now I'm going to offer a package deal. I'll do a prenup, I'll do the ceremony, I'll do 10 minutes of stand-up at the reception, and you'll get a deposit on a divorce. But if you're still married after 5 years, you get it back. I'm also starting out selling merch. I've got hats, t-shirts, champagne flute cozies, and I'm going to offer an array of services. If you want me to write the vows, I can do that, suitable for any combination of sexes. I can do wedding toasts. I can do premarital counseling, that's my favorite. This is something that I think is really going to take off. I am a lawyer. My last name's Loss, L-O-S-S. Great name for a lawyer, I know. Can't imagine how hilarious it is after 40 years of jokes. I am offering a $500 reward for anybody who come up with a joke that I haven't heard. I have not yet had to spend that $500. You can read all about me on my website, yourlossismygain.com. Check it out. Also call me on my special phone line. You know how every lawyers now want phone numbers. I don't have one number. The only ones that were left were 666-666-6666. I have all of the exorcists in town are my clients. And they get divorces and get in car accidents, so it's worked out good. Also, you can check out my wedding packages on my website. I've been a lawyer a long time. People ask me, what did you learn from being a lawyer all this time? I only learned one thing. Don't offer to give your client a ride home before the jury comes back. A lot of awkward trips home. After about 20 years of doing this, going to court, filing papers, getting the same results time after time, I thought there's got to be an easier way to do this. So I wrote a book. It's called Just Plead Guilty. It's a real book. It's got my picture on the back. And what it says here on the leaf, in terms that are sometimes coherent, John Loss explains how you can avoid the pitfalls of going to trial. I didn't really think this through. This book climbed up the bestseller list as my practice went down into the toilet. So I wrote a second book for people who didn't buy the first book. Don't worry, we'll appeal. Then I thought it's time for a third book, so I have a nice gift set for you. So I wrote a coffee table book called How to Make the Most Out of the Next 5 to 10 Years of Your Life. Using feng shui to make your cell your home. You can also buy this package on my website, or you can see me after the show if you want to place an order. I saw on Facebook that my 50th high school reunion is going to be next year in September. So that made me feel nostalgic. So I got out the old Tremper High School yearbook and started paying through it. First I came to the academic part, looked at the classes. I saw the one science class that they offered. It was called Fire, Friend or Foe. I kept looking through it. I came to the team part, and I saw myself standing proudly as part of the basketball team. This school had 3,000 kids, but we couldn't find anybody who could play basketball. We had 2 6'8" guys who could not touch the rim, so we won 4 games. Now what kept us going was the thought of the end of the year basketball banquet at the Italian American Club. That's where the coach would manage to find some words of kindness to say towards us with our parents watching on. Well, my senior year, he decided to invite a famous college coach named Ray Meyer. Our coach is named Joe. So Ray got up on stage. First thing he says, well, Joe, the one thing I've learned over 30 years of coaching, you can't win without talent. And that hit us like a sledgehammer. We all looked at our parents who had given us this weak DNA that causes problems. I'd like to say this has inspired me, but all it does is make me pissed off every time I think about it. So here I am, 40 years later, 50 years later. Something that stays with you. It's not a good thing. I am trying to, I'm in my third midlife crisis. One thing I'm looking into, there's a senior NASCAR circuit developing now. There's 3 rules. You got to set your cruise control at 50. You got to leave your left blinker on, and you can only drive in the left lane. You have to take a pit stop every half hour for a nap. There's a Cracker Barrel and a Travel Lodge at each pit stop. The 500 takes 3 days. Of course, Viagra is sponsoring a car. But after it was leaving for 4 hours, it had to go see the doctor. Another thing, life coaches, you guys heard about life coaches? You can pay people to help you get through life. I'm thinking they should be graded just like you grade a football coach. You should be able to look up on their website how many people they coached, how far they've gone in life, whether they graduated or retired or committed suicide, things like that. But I thought it's too much for one person to do. There should be assistant life coaches also, just like a football team. I think a minimum of 3. One for social media, one for your finances, and one for everything else. And then the coaching staff can meet every week to figure out a plan for you. So we'll see if that takes off. Let me ask you this. You ever been to a family reunion? Found yourself attracted to somebody? You knew there's rules about this. You might even remember that Albert Einstein married his first cousin, but you don't know what they are. Well, that's where I come in. I did the research. It's like 4 pages of rules and regulations. For example, in Missouri, you can have sex with your first cousin, but you can't marry him. In Wisconsin, where I'm from, if you're over 55 and are sterile, you can marry your first cousin. Check, check. So, this paper's too big to carry around in your wallet or your purse. So what you need to do is get this app I developed in conjunction with Ancestry.com. It's called IsItOK.com. All you do is put in what state you're in, what kind of cousin you're interested in, and what you want to do. It's a valuable service. And they'll come back with a red light or a green light. Not only am I the president of IsItOK.com, I'm also a client. I got married a couple of years ago, and we now sit at our own table at every family reunion. Nobody wants to talk to us. I am an empty nester. I moved into a 1-bedroom apartment so my kids could move back in. It truly is an empty nest. Twigs and branches scattered all over the place. But so I had to put in trail markers, like pointing to the bathroom, the kitchen, the bedroom. My granddaughter came over to visit. She wandered off the trail. Couldn't find her for 3 hours. Needless to say, my daughter was not amused. I live by myself, and after 2 days in a row where the only word I said was plastic, which was to the bagger at the grocery store, I decided it was time to get out there again. So I started looking at dating sites. I checked out Our Time. It wasn't. Plenty of fish in the sea. There weren't. Farmers Only. I wasn't. Then I found the perfect one. It's called It'sAlmostOver.com. No pictures, no questions. All you do is send in your latest 401k and any special dietary needs. So I found a nice lady who could eat solid food. Arranged to pick her up at the usual time, 4:30. Made it to Bob Evans, plenty of time for the early bird special. Soon we're talking about our kids, and she says, I get up every day at 5 o'clock and call my son and say, how come? I said, well, he's in the Marines, and he has trouble waking up. Just troubled me on two levels. One, our national security depended on her remembering to call her son. Number two, it told me she was a helicopter parent, you know, one of those ones that hovers over everything. I was just the opposite. I was a submarine dad. I had no idea what was going on in the surface. When my daughter was in high school, Titanic was the big movie. It was 3 hours long. I believed her when she told me she saw it 5 Fridays in a row. All she could tell me was she thought it had an iceberg in it. I believed her. It never occurred to me this gave her 3 hours off the grid every Friday. 10 years later, her conscience got to her. She came to me and she said, "Dad, I never saw Titanic in high school." After I got over the shock, I started to wonder what else had she told me that was not true. Maybe the school library didn't stay open until 2 o'clock. Maybe school didn't let out in April. In her senior year, maybe every Friday was not bring a 6-pack for the homeless day. We sent a lot of beer to school, felt good about it. You probably can't tell from my accent, but I'm from Wisconsin. I grew up on the mean streets of Kenosha, Wisconsin. That's a town so white you can see it from space during the daytime. And you know, Wisconsin is the land of cheese, milk, and beer. I love kindergarten because they give you beer instead of milk in those little containers. It's nothing like having a day buzz when you're 5 years old. But I started to realize something. At an early age, I couldn't keep the dairy products down. It terrified me because I had a couple of friends who had that problem in class, and they just disappeared. I think they were deported to Illinois. So I knew I had to keep it a secret. Fortunately, I had a Cocker Spaniel dog who was always at my side. So whenever I'd be at the dinner table and they were passing around the cheese and the butter and the milk, I just give it to Ginger. She became, of course, morbidly obese, but my secret was safe. I did what a normal Wisconsin boy should do. I did everything. I actually got elected king of the cheese festival. Got a blue ribbon for my 4-H project, Better Living Through Cheese. And I passed my cheese finals with flying colors, so that meant I could go off to college. And what a relief it was to get out of Kenosha and go to college where I could really be myself. First thing I did was join the Lactose Intolerant Student Association, LISA. We decided to have a mixer with GIFSA, the Gluten-Free Student Association. Visa crashed our party, that's the Vegetarian Student Association. We had a great time, but no refreshments, because there was nothing anybody could eat that would satisfy everybody. So I was riding high, so when I went back home for Thanksgiving, I sat my parents down, and I said, I want you to know, I was born this way. But I've got to tell you, I'm lactose intolerant. Before I knew it, a hood was thrown over my head. I was whisked off to Phoenix, Arizona to a cheese re-education camp. Me and two other guys escaped. We called ourselves the Tozers, and we found a sanctuary city here in Kansas City. So they took us in with open arms. And I'm glad to live as an openly lactose intolerant man. Thank you. I think America's ready for this. Don't tell Donald Trump about this. All right. But man, I've got a granddaughter who's 7. And she knows I do comedy, so she's always telling me jokes. Of course, I thought she was making them up at first. But I said, where do you get these jokes? She says, I go to a web page. It's all okay, 7 years old. Then I found out she has her own web page. But to encourage her in following the stand-up comedy career, which is really a path to riches like no other, sure does away with that college thing. I got her the Barbie stand-up comic doll. Now it comes with a microphone, a bag of weed, and a stage. And like with every Barbie, it's the accessories that where you make the money. So the first thing you have to buy is the Barbie dream room in the basement of her parents' house. It comes with a washer and dryer, a 12-inch TV, and a hot plate. You can also buy the Barbie pet set, 2 cats named Regret and Disappointment. And then to get to the gigs, of course you need a car. Now Barbie, stand-up comic Barbie does not have a pink Stingray like Malibu Barbie. She has a 1999 Honda Civic with a door that's different color than the rest of the car. Doesn't start all the time. So she's really having fun with this. And she's been working on a routine. She's got solid 10 minutes about parents, bedtime, and cafeteria. This is how she starts out her act. What's the deal with the cafeteria food? Does everything have to come with tater tots? And then off you go. She's 7 years old. Come on. You guys like porn? Let's switch gears here. There's some people out here I don't feel I've reached yet, so I want to cover everybody. I became interested in porn in the 1970s. This is before computers. So all you guys are so spoiled, you just turn on your computer and can watch it 24 hours a day. You had to work for it back then. You really had 3 choices. You could go to an adult bookstore, or you could go to an adult movie theater and sit in the dark with a bunch of other perverts. Or, third option, you get a Hustler magazine, look in the back in the classifieds. They'd have a list of movies, 8mm movies that you could get by mail order. So I had a friend named David, he and I were both curious. So we got that and we started looking down the list and we saw one that caught our eyes. It's called Svetlana's Party. Now the Cold War was starting to end. $49.95. But we were so worried about being viewed as perverts, we used a fake name to order it. And we were terrified that it would come in an envelope with pornography stamped all over it. And back then, being a pervert was not a qualification for running for Senate. It was a bad thing. I have to explain these things. It's a different time. So it came. David had the projector. You guys know what 8mm is? It's got the reels. I always tell people like a Chevy Chase. The vacation's up in the attic, that's an 8mm. So David threads it up, we put a sheet on the wall, and we settle back to watch 8 minutes of communist love. At least that's what we thought it was. It was very dark. It had a little creature that kept running across the floor. We watched it about 20 times trying to figure out what we were looking at. So I came back the next day. I said, David, let's watch that movie again. He says, I got bad news. Charlie ate it. Charlie was his dog. Apparently Charlie had had enough. That's when I realized dogs have... Where's the dog? Tell this to the dog. Dogs have a higher moral standard than people. So when you think your dog's looking at you with unconditional love, he's really judging you for that movie you're watching on Skinamax. Or that lasagna you're eating at 1 o'clock, so keep that in mind. I have a dad, he's 94 years old, going strong. As I get older, I look more and more like him. To the point now where sometimes I look in the rearview mirror, I think he's in the back seat. That freaks me out. So I head to my therapist, I do not pass go, and it gets me through it. I went up there to visit at Christmas. He's never been impressed by the gifts I give him, so this year I gave him a picture of myself. Same reaction. So we're sitting there, it's like 6 degrees, too cold to go outside. I said, Dad, let's watch a movie on demand. He says, what's demand? I explained it to him. He said, okay, I'll pay for it, grudgingly. And so he said, I said, what do you want to watch? He says, you pick. I knew this was a trap. So I thought I'd pick a safe movie. I'd actually seen a trailer for this movie. It was called The Mountain Between Us. And the trailer made it look like it's an adventure movie about 2 people trying to get off a mountain. So it starts off promising enough. There are 2 strangers in the Denver airport that snowed in. They have to get back to Boston. Beau Bridges shows up. He's got his own charter service. They sign up with him. Plane crashes, ill. So I'm thinking, hey, okay, now what are we going to do? Well, in 20 minutes, they have a love scene, and they get off the goddamn mountain. So the remaining hour and 20 minutes is like a Hallmark movie. So here it starts. My dad goes, I'm glad I didn't order that movie. Then he falls asleep for a while. What the hell's going on now? I don't believe that. That doesn't seem real. So for an hour and 20 minutes, at first I was upset. The more I thought about it, I've given him the best Christmas gift I'd ever given him. Because there's nothing he likes better to do than criticize things on TV. So this was like a Christmas miracle. So it was a big deal. I also got to go back to Madison, Wisconsin. I went to college. I was there in the early 70s when all the protests were going on. You guys remember Vietnam and all that. And a lot of marching in the streets. And I would go out there and see what's going on. I always try to get in the back of the crowd. So one day, I'm out there and all of a sudden the crowd turns around. I'm in the front. And I'm like 2 feet away from 18-year-olds with guns, the National Guard. So all of a sudden my political ideals went away. I ran all the way back to the dorm. Now when I was up there a couple months ago, they actually had a little historical marker. It said this is where the protesting students and the police met. immediately I felt like a Civil War reenactor, because, you know, I've been there, so. Anyway. I also, even though I'm in the third chapter or fourth chapter, I don't know what you want to call it, we're commonly called baby boomers. I like to call us revolutionary recreational drug pioneers. We came of age in the 60s and 70s. We took America from reefer madness in the 40s to Easy Rider in 1967. Reefer madness taught us anybody who smoked marijuana became a homicidal maniac. Easy Rider taught us smoking marijuana is cool, but you're still going to get killed. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. So the next time you see a bunch of guys drinking coffee at McDonald's or some ladies in a restaurant, you go up and thank them for their service. Also, if you're talking to your grandma someday, have this image in your head. She's old enough, she could have been one of the people swimming naked at Woodstock, so we aren't that different. I've been trying to get my credit rating into the black numbers. The other day I saw it went up, and I stayed up. Couldn't realize what happened. Then it dawned on me. Somebody had stolen my identity and was doing better with it than I was. I didn't report it. I ran out and got a car loan for the first time. But all good things come to an end, and it came back down when I realized I'm the only person in America who had their identity stolen and then had it returned to them. You guys have been a great audience. This is a special night. Some of the people here were there at the very first time I went up. Even people that aren't related to me. Yeah, I was waiting for the plane to come by. That's all time. I'll leave you with this. You guys all heard of Costco? No. Say yes. I feel like I'm talking to somebody on a witness stand. Say yes. You know, you can even buy caskets at Costco, but you got to buy 3 of them shrink wrapped together. I bought a 50-gallon tub of mayonnaise 3 years ago that I'm still using. It should be good. I do get a little hallucinogenic when I make a sandwich, but that's not a bad thing. Costco thinks the average size family is like the Duggars, 2 parents and 18 kids. So the other day, I'm pushing my 60-year-old of toilet paper towards the cash register. I'm thinking, in view of my age and the advances in adult diaper technology, this is the last toilet paper I'm ever going to buy. So thanks a lot. You guys have been great. Appreciate it.
Give it up for John Ross, everybody.